how does a distressed neighborhood become healthy? Whether it's a community with big city problems or a rural area losing residents and jobs, community development organizations like the Local Initiative Support Corporation have been successfully answering this question for more than a quarter century. Combining money and know-how, they improve lives of low-income people with a combination of housing, commercial, and broad neighborhood revitalization. 10 years ago, an important new tool was added to their kit, the New Markets Tax Credit. This federal program has directed nearly $16 billion of capital into nearly 3,000 businesses located in some of the most distressed communities in the country.
The New Markets Tax Credit program is unique in that it focuses only on commercial development in distressed neighborhoods. It's much needed equity for commercial development. We've really tried to focus and to do those deals in neighborhoods that will have an impact.
In 2000, Congress passed the New Markets Tax Credit Program, a federal initiative that encourages private investors, like banks, to invest in community economic development efforts. Because investors receive tax credits, organizations like LISC can provide developers with project financing at terms that conventional market sources don't offer. New Markets Tax Credits are an important part of LISC's efforts to revitalize communities. In late 2010, LISC reached a milestone by closing more than $500 million to finance over 50 high-impact projects across the country. From a top-performing charter school in Jacksonville, Florida, to the first joint YWCA and YMCA in Spokane, Washington, to a neighborhood fresh and easy grocery store in a South LA food desert. These aren't just any kind of businesses. The projects LISC finances contribute to the long-term redevelopment of a community. Midtown Global Market, located in South Minneapolis, opened in the city's iconic Sears building after it had been boarded up for 10 years.
It's become a symbol for how positively diverse our state is becoming. You can go around the world in 20 minutes just going from one stand to the next. Without New Market Tax Credits, this deal just couldn't have happened. I mean, it was an $18 million project. You can't raise $18 million. You sure can't get debt for the project. This kind of equity that was brought in by a U.S. bank utilizing the New Market Tax Credit was absolutely critical. So this whole huge ongoing sort of economic and social engine that's operating 7 days a week wouldn't be happening without this. Every day, right in the middle of these low-income neighborhoods, so folks from that neighborhood can walk in and not just do business, but see who's behind the counter as folks just like them. So they become inspired to, take the same path.
Workers in the greater Milwaukee area have already seen the benefits of what tax credits can do. With the help of LISC's New Markets Tax Credit Program, developers were able to renovate an old tractor manufacturing building in West Allis into more than 650,000 square feet of commercial space, bringing back desperately needed jobs to the area.
Not just economically, which was a great economic boost, but it gave the community hope that by working together we could actually make major things happen. And when the city and the community saw this being done, they go, well, if we could do this, we can do anything. And so it gave that great hope to a city that was kind of downtrodden a bit, and now I think we're leading the entire state in revitalization.
Christ the King is a Jesuit college prep school built in one of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods. Thanks in part to LISC, more than 600 area students work toward their goal of getting into college, a dream that was unlikely for many before Christ the King.
One of the things about poverty is that it isolates families. It isolates people, and they can't really see the horizons that really could be theirs. Being with teachers who care, being in a safe school, being in a school that has longer school hours is critical to their success. I do believe that education is the great civil rights movement of our day. The only way that we're going to really fight poverty and give kids a chance to make their lives better and make their families' lives better is if they have the opportunity to be educated. We were able to really create something that the neighbors are proud of. And it's one of the things that we wanted the building to be, is really a beacon of hope for this neighborhood and for the future of young people on the west side.
It may be hard to understand how tax credits could change lives, change communities, but think of it like this. When a motorcycle parts manufacturer expands in rural Wisconsin, it provides economic stability to the small town that relies on it for good jobs. When a historic black college in Jackson, Mississippi builds affordable housing and retail space, it revitalizes the community for both students and neighborhood residents. When a community health center opens in Lynchburg, Virginia, the elderly and medically underserved have better access to high-quality health care. When Boys and Girls Clubs open in 3 tough Phoenix neighborhoods, kids have safe places to play. When a new grocery store comes to a neighborhood in Washington, D.C. that hadn't had one for more than a decade, families have better access to good jobs and healthy food. You realize that helping businesses to open in places that they otherwise wouldn't is transformative. Those neighborhoods can become good places to live, work, do business, and raise families.
The tax credit program that LISC offered had that little linchpin in there that made things move. The city had put money into the transaction. We were trying to get private financing, and it was just that extra part that you needed to make it work, which is what New Market Tax Credits is supposed to do. And it did it. It worked, and that's why it was so critical to have LISC involved in this project.
We had sort of twin problems of increasing cost and decreasing availability of funds as we were getting close to the commencement of construction. The New Markets program and the flexible lending was able to really step in and close that gap for us and provide the necessary equity to get us over the finish line.
It didn't work as developers to make the numbers work because of the high cost just to get out of the ground. So with the people like LISC and the New Market Tax Credits and things, we were able to put everything together to make it feasible for us.
Take it from Jeri Nelsen, Executive Director of the Center for Changing Lives, an organization that helps its neighbors live safer, healthier lives every day.
I would just say thank you. Thank you to those that make tax credits possible, that make financing easier, that help pave the way so that we can develop these kinds of programs and resources. I'd just say thank you.